And you know who's starting to find a rhythm? It's Al Horford, who's standing by with Fitz and Buki.
It is so good to see Al Horford healthy. Tell us about tonight bouncing back from a difficult loss against the Clippers, because you and DeAnthony Melton kind of led the way off the bench.
Yeah, it was tough, so we needed to come out here with a lot of energy, and I felt like we did that early on, and that's what we're trying to do, just get a spark and get the team going.
You've been impressive moving your feet. How good do your legs feel? You had another great block tonight. You're defending at the rim. You're defending at the three-point line. You're all over the place.
I'm feeling better and better. You know, it's taking me some time, but I'm starting to get healthy again, and it's just exciting to be back on the floor and back with the flow of the team.
How about the double big? You and Quentin, or you and Draymond, Steve Kerr playing two bigs, and I think you had to enjoy that.
No question. I mean, this type of team obviously calls for it, and I enjoy those when we do those lineups.
What do you like more? Hitting 2 threes, picking pops, you're great there, or you like rolling to the basket and making plays and being the decision maker, getting other guys open? What's more enjoyable for you?
I mean, being able to play out of that half roll when Steph gives you the ball, it's pretty cool, and getting to move the ball around, it really gets our team going.
How much are you going to enjoy this 8-game homestand? 1 win already in the books. I know you're not going to miss getting on planes and traveling. You've been doing it for 19 years, but it's been a road-heavy beginning for the Warriors.
Yeah, no question. It's good to be home. It's good to be here, and we can get some wins and get some momentum going.
You guys have had 2 games in a row where you've been less than 10 turnovers, 7 last game, 9 this game. What are the discussions like when it comes to taking care of the ball? No one likes to talk about the turnovers. It's not fun to talk about, but you guys have been doing a great job just taking your time, really valuing the ball now.
Yeah, you know, our spacing is better, so that helps, and we're a little more organized, and that always helps, and we'll be more conscious of that.
You're getting ready for Friday already. Bring on Sacramento. But, Al, you're turning back the clock a little bit. You look healthy, rested, and ready, and we'll see you Friday night.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, Draymond, this shooting night for the team, maybe I should call you Draymond, looks a lot different than the Clippers game. Why is that?
We just couldn't buy a basket. I thought we got great looks. We missed open threes. We missed open layups. Just couldn't get one to go in. But we gave ourselves a chance to win because we defended and we kept our turnovers down. That was the carryover tonight, and the shots actually fell tonight.
DeAnthony Melton, 22 points. What are you seeing from him now that he's healthy?
He's starting to get that burst back, right? He's getting his speed back. He's getting his legs back underneath him. Oh, I've never had to come back from an injury like that, and I'm very thankful for that. But when you come back from injury, you're just trying to get your legs back, you know? And so the shot that you've been working on isn't the same when you get back out here. You got defense flying at you in the speed of the game. And he's starting to find that rhythm now. He's blowing by guys again. Shots starting to fall, and he's doing what he does defensively.
And you were questionable for this game with an ankle sprain, but it looked like you really wanted that matchup against Giannis. Why is that?
You know, I love playing against the greats. You know, the games when you don't play against greats, it's a tougher games for me. When you're playing against greats, you got to step up to the challenge or you get embarrassed. And it's an honor to be able to play against the greats on a nightly basis. And when you get an opportunity, I don't know, you know, how many, we play them twice a year, right? So how many opportunities do I have to play Giannis? But I cherish being able to play against great guys that one day I'll be able to tell my kids, like, yo, I played against that guy. And this matchup was like this. And so it's an honor to play against guys like Giannis, and if I can be in the game, I wouldn't miss it.
And how does it feel getting a W to start this 8-game homestand?
It's huge. We need to make up some ground on this homestand. You know, our schedule's been a little nuts, but we got 8 home games, so it's no excuses.
Thank you.
How much, you know, if at all, did the matchup earlier this year in Milwaukee play into the way you guys played tonight?
Not much, because Giannis didn't play, but just a sense of urgency on early in the game, getting to their shooters and just trying to make it tough on them. Obviously, Ryan had a great game last time when Giannis was out and dominated the whole game, but it was more the recipe for how we're supposed to win games compared to the Clipper game. We made more shots, but it was the same kind of vibe. Good defense, low turnovers, trying to keep them off the offensive glass, and you'd hope that would add up to a win.
You made a ton more shots this game than against the Clippers. I think you're like league average 3-pointers, you know, as a team this year. Do you feel like you're better than that?
I mean, you're only as good as the shots that go in. So I'd like to have the confidence and the belief that we are, but it's, you know, trying to create good shots consistent good looks for good shooters. You stick with that, you'd hope that that would build over the course of a stretch of games. But I'd like to have the belief, but you got to go, knock down shots.
Steph, how welcome was it to see Melton go off for 22 and for what Al gave you guys off the bench?
Yeah, those two guys weren't available much or at all early in the year, and they're both trying to find their legs, their rhythm, but you can see how much of a difference they can make off the bench. And I think those two guys like surrounding Jimmy with those two, and kind of you pick the next two. Like it's a good recipe for shooting high IQ guys, and then defensively they both know what to do on that end.
How much have you kind of mapped out this 8-game homestand, looked at it, in its full, capacity, or are you just trying to go one game at a time?
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even know who we play next.
Kings on Friday.
I honestly have no clue. We had a rough flight back from LA and that whole situation. So all energy was just trying to get through tonight. But I know we play pretty much every other day. By the opponents, I would have failed that quiz.
How rough was the flight? You guys got in the air too and had to turn around, right?
Yeah, we got home safe, so nobody's really complaining about it. But it was not ideal down there and on the way back.
Steph, that's 2 games in a row now where you guys have had under double-digit turnovers. I was wondering, what has been the biggest difference these last 2 games when it comes to keeping those turnovers low?
I think everybody individually would have to speak to what their focus is. I think for me and Draymond, especially with the way that we play, it's just being sure about your passes. And we're going to take some risks. I'm going to throw a behind the back pass. I'm going to throw a full court pass. But it's throughout the meat of the game, it's trying to just play under control and just, as Coach Kerr would say, hit singles. Let everything kind of work itself out with, good decision-making, fundamental basketball, mixed with our tendency to have a little chaos.
Steph, it felt like towards the end there, that last shot had a chance to kind of do a celebration we haven't seen in a while, the night. Do you feel like that's a sign that maybe some fun's beginning to return to a stretch of the season where you guys are starting to put together a good stretch of basketball?
I mean, the more you win, the more everybody feels good, the more momentum you pick up. The vibes are, immaculate, as they say. Draymond actually hit me with it before I even had a chance to, so I was just shadowing him. But, yeah, you want to feel good about yourself. And sometimes you might have to force it a little bit, like get yourself going and make sure you're having fun through some of the ups and downs that we've had this year.
Steph, following up the earlier question on DeAnthony, why is he such a good fit here? Obviously he's a good player, but last year, even in the small sample size, you and Steve and others were pretty emphatic that he made sense on this team. What about his game sort of meshes, do you think, with the way you play?
He's just versatile. Defensively, he can guard on the ball, point of attack. He plays passing lanes. He's just smart, quick on his feet, and got a crazy, wingspan that he can be a pest out there. And then offensively, he's a solid knockdown shooter, catch and shoot, but he's one of the few that has a pace to him when he puts the ball on the floor that he can create something. I think he got to the lane, had a nice little wide finish, in the paint tonight off a 4 or 5 dribble sequence, and then he bailed us out of a possession in the fourth quarter with just creating some out of nothing. And his confidence is, he knows he belongs. He's a, prototypical, starting 2 guard. And he's played on good teams, so he knows, what that level is like. And I'm happy that he's healthy and able to, do it for us.
Hey, Steph, right here, please. Draymond popped up on the injury report with a sprained ankle. He was questionable, but it looked like he really wanted this Giannis matchup. And he said afterward he doesn't know how many more of these matchups he has. He wants to relish that. How do you see Draymond thinking about the time he has left, and if that's something you identify with too?
Yeah, I mean, it's little things like that get you motivated. I know me, him, and Jimmy have had conversations just about how much fun we still have, playing at this level, chasing something meaningful, and whether it's an individual matchup or a big game or like trying to pull yourself out of a period of averageness that we're in right now, like that's what keeps us going. So, Draymond's tough. He's a dog. For him in a regular season type of situation with a guy like Giannis on the other side to show up the way he did is unbelievable. It's kind of, the heart of a champion, for lack of a better term.
Steph, Steve was saying before the game that his mom was really upset with him for the explosion the other night. I'm curious, in your career, has your mom ever been really mad at something you have said or done on the floor?
100%. And then after the game, that's a hard phone call to pick up. You kind of want to just, ignore it, but because you know what's coming for sure. So that's what moms do, keep you honest.
When was she most upset in your pro career?
Probably the Houston series in the playoffs. I did the "This is my house" right into the camera too. There's no plausible deniability there at all.
Hey, Steph, to your right. So this was the first of an 8-game homestand, like we mentioned. How big was it to bounce back from, a tough game Monday, get this one, and how big an opportunity is this 8-game homestand? You guys have played well here just to kind of get some momentum going.
Not trying to put it lightly. I mean, it's huge. Considering how the first 20 or so games were, they were crazy road heavy. We were all over the place. The density of games and the amount of travel and all that. Now you're able to kind of make up for that with this homestand. The temptation is to relax or just show up, and just because you're at home, feeling like you're going to get a win. But thankfully, we should be mature enough to know that we're in this position because we haven't shown a level of consistency, and our record reflects that. So we can do something about it with this stretch of games and just take it one game at a time and do what we need to do.
Steph, to follow up, Nick, I mean, Steve said his 91-year-old mother actually thought he was going to hit the ref. Do you think it's good that she's still on him? And did you think that was one of the more fired up times you've seen him?
Oh, no, I've seen worse for sure. I couldn't tell you exactly when, but I know it's been worse. But I mean, that's a good mother-son relationship. That she's watching every game and locked in and cares as much as he does to call him out on it too. But we needed that fire, so Mrs. Kerr, we forgive him for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned, earlier when talking about Draymond, you guys as a team kind of collectively trying to pull yourself out of averageness. I'm just curious how you see his game right now and him, maybe trying to pull himself a little bit out of what was kind of a rut in December.
He had 2 big threes in the fourth quarter. He took the Giannis, matchup personally and matched his minutes up pretty much down the line. And then I think the last 2 games, we lost 1-1, but maybe the game before that, I think he's had 3 turnovers maybe combined or something like that. And his playmaking has been, at the level that we know it can be. So just, like I said, whatever the motivation is, whatever you can kind of key in on to get through, not only because our record is what it is, but this time of year it's always a little bit harder than others. It's kind of like no man's land in the season, and so we're trying to understand to the point of this homestand and what opportunity we have in front of us. Everybody's showing up with a level of focus that I like, and we're playing well. Just got to keep it going.
Steve, how much did Al's presence mean to you? I mean, he did a little bit of everything, and just how important was that in this game?
Great. Al was great. It's we're starting to get to the point where we've been able to bump his minutes up, and he looks looks healthy, feeling good. So to play him 19 minutes tonight gave us a really good rotation. And, yeah, he was terrific. I mean, he did everything, rebounded, passed, blocked a couple shots. Fun to watch Al play.
Steve, what did you think of the way your bench, specifically Al and Melt, did tonight?
Yeah, I thought they were both great. The bench came in, did a really good job. Coach Stackhouse made a couple good adjustments defensively in that first half, which helped us, change the game a little bit. And those guys defensively were really good. So, yeah, it was a good, solid game. We handled the ball well and competed and got it done.
Steph, he was kind of praising Melton earlier and called him kind of your prototypical starting two guard. He's up to 25 minutes tonight. I'm not necessarily expecting lineup announcements, but do you think he's to the point he can start to play like starting type minutes?
He's been out basically for the most part of 2 years, so we're going to keep doing what we're doing, bring him off the bench, keep his minutes climbing. As soon as Rick tells me he can play 30 minutes, then there's going to be nights where he plays 30 minutes. He's a hell of a player, and so obviously I like our starting lineup right now. We're in a good groove. We're playing pretty well overall. We're solid, and Melt gives us a great option off the bench. And as you've seen, he's closed most of the games here the last couple of weeks.
Steve, what led to tonight being such a better shooting night with the efficiency?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes it doesn't. It's a cliche, but it's true. It's just, yeah, we got good shots the other night. We got good shots tonight. Tonight they win it.
Steve, you said Stack helped you make some adjustments. What were some of those adjustments?
I'm not going to tell.
Can't give us at least a little clue?
We don't give those secrets away. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, to your right, we talked a little bit before the game about this 8-game homestand and the opportunity it presents. How big is it to get this first one, especially? I know you guys were frustrated after the Clippers game. How big is it to just kind of start this thing with a win?
Yeah, very important. 8 straight at home. The schedule is finally turning for us in our direction, and so we want to take advantage of it and have a great homestand and make a push and get some separation from that 500 mark that we've been hovering around all year.
What are you seeing with regards to the ball security the last couple of games, turnovers?
Just great decision making. Draymond, I think the last 2 games, I want to say 19 assists and like 2 turnovers. He's just making solid decisions and not trying to do anything too much. We have good spacing. Steph, same thing. He had 1 turnover tonight. So when those 2 guys in particular are, just making simple decisions, they're still able to create plenty of offense for us, without taking risks that turn into threes and dunks at the other end. So it's up to those 2 guys. Jimmy always takes care of the ball, and it's really up to Steph and Dre to continue this pattern of allowing us to win games just through our execution and our defense.
On it being a make or miss league from 3, you guys take more threes than anyone in the league. I think you're 15th in percentage overall. How would you evaluate like the shot profile, the shot quality that you guys have gotten this year, and do you think like that percentage could have some positive regression?
I do think I think positive regression is an oxymoron, is it not? I believe it's called progression, maybe? I don't know. I do think that our shooting will improve because we have good shooters. Like Melt's a perfect example. Tonight he goes 5 for 9. He's finally getting into the groove after coming off the injury. Al, same thing. So I believe we're a much better shooting team than we've shown this year so far. And if we can stay healthy and keep this rhythm going, then I think those numbers will go up. But I like the shots we're getting. I think what we're doing makes sense. We're playing through Jimmy and Steph, which we're always going to do. And those 2 guys create a lot of shots for people. And I have a lot of faith that we'll continue to get better.
I guess to follow on that, Moses with 3 threes tonight. Just what have you seen from him in the last few weeks? I know that the shot has been down a little bit, but what have you seen just in general within the last few weeks?
Well, what I love about Moses is he's the same guy every day. He comes to work, puts in the work, and he doesn't get too high or too low. And he understands that over 82 games, there's just spells in the season where shots don't go and you lose your rhythm a little bit, and you don't panic. You just keep shooting, and that's what Moses does. He's a real pro, and he belongs in that category too, with Melt and Al. Like I have no doubt that Mo will find his groove as well.
Steph said he likes the focus everybody's coming with right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally agree. I think we've won 7 out of 10, and there are a couple in there that we very easily could have won. It just feels like we're much more consistent now and solid than we were earlier. It felt like we were up and down quite a bit. I like the focus. I thought Draymond's energy has been so good, the last couple games, and obviously, all the stuff that happened a couple of weeks ago. Like he's in a great place. I just think our team is settling in and ready for a move.
One of the comments Steph made tonight is he feels like the focus is really good just collectively right now. I'm just curious, do you agree, and where are you seeing that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. You're just starting to see it on both ends. We're starting to connect the game. Our turnovers are starting to be a good thing, not necessarily a bad thing, a good thing. We're rebounding the ball pretty well. So just those are focus things. You give up box outs. You turn the ball over, careless passes. Those are all focus things, and I think we're doing a much better job of focusing on the task at hand, understanding the game plan, and executing it.
Steve also said he felt you specifically had, been part of that. How much more focused did you feel maybe necessarily than you were?
I feel just taking less chances. Coach came to me. He was just like, "Yo, we're going to keep putting the ball in your hand, but you have a responsibility to take care of it. And we're not the team that we used to be, where you can kind of take those chances. The league has changed. Teams feast off those turnovers, and so you just try to take less chances than I was taking. And I heard it, took it to heart." But overall, just trying to focus in on everything, not just the turnovers, just myself, this team, what's going well, what's not going well, trying to figure out things to, be the player that I can be for this team, the leader that I can be for this team. So, it's definitely a concerted effort.
Draymond, you and Steph and Jimmy have all kind of talked up your teammates for most of the season that they can be good for you guys. When you get a night like tonight where Melt comes through and Al comes through, what does that mean to have those two guys step up, and maybe any of those guys on a random night?
Well, those two guys in particular have been out, and those are two guys that connects our lineups. And, so with Al missing the amount of games that he's missed, but then also being on the restrictions that he was on, Melt, he played 25 minutes tonight. Starting to see that climb. He's starting to get his legs underneath him. So, Guy Santos was huge, by the way. He had 2 points again, and dominating games with his effort, and his brain. It's been huge. So it's always great to have those guys stepping up because, like we've said all year, we need those guys to us three doing it, and that's the answer. I think that's the answer. They've been wrong every time. We depend on our guys. We trust our guys, and they've been coming through.
So many matchups with Giannis and with the Bucks over the years. How much do you get up for a game like this?
They're always exciting, just fun. He's obviously one of the best players of our game for a lot of years, and anytime you get to compete, with the top guys, it's always special.
What is like your comfortability level at this point, physically, and then also just acclimating yourself with the team?
It continues to get better. I'm still, just finding myself, and most importantly, I'm I'm feeling healthy again, which is good, and hopefully I'll be able to continue to play more and more.
Al, tonight you came off the bench and kind of danced along the stat sheet there. Is this a game like this more like what you expected when you came to this team?
My impact, I feel like it's on anything that I have to do with winning, and making winning plays, and whether it's rebounding, whether it's assists. Obviously, I know I can shoot the ball, so being able to be a floor spacer for the group and shoot. So just impacting in different ways. But this was a game that a lot of it that came together, which was nice. And for me, it's how do I continue to have this type of games moving forward to help our team.
You saw Melt go off tonight and get 22 points. I mean, he's been looking for a shot, but he seems like he's found it a little bit. What was it like to see him?
Yeah, it was just good for him shooting it with confidence, and even after a couple misses, he was right there shooting it again, and being aggressive and getting to his spots when he needed to. Defensively, he brings a lot to us as well. So it was just nice to see him kind of break out and do his thing.
What have you noticed procedurally that's working offensively the last X amount of games? I think you guys are 7-3 in the last 10. What's working procedurally on offense?
I feel like it has to do with we're turning the ball over less, which that's the first thing there, and I think that has to do with our spacing is much better, and we're getting organized quicker. I feel like when we get in trouble is when we don't we're playing fast and we don't know what to do and we don't get to our positions and things like that, and I feel like our guys are doing a better job of getting to spaces quickly, and that way we can operate and move it a little bit. So I think that has a lot to do with that, the spacing and getting organized.
Hi, Al. Steve praised Draymond's focus since that rough stretch of a few games. And Steph also talked about the focus of the group. I mean, what do you sort of observe both with Draymond and the whole unit in terms of just everybody being on the same page?
You could definitely, Draymond does so much for the team, and the ball's in his hands a lot, and he's making passes that are very difficult passes, and reading the game in real time and really fast, and there's a lot that goes into that. And I just think that, when Coach is saying that, it's just for him to have a little bit more of awareness of making sure that he takes care of the ball, and he addressed it, and he's doing a better job with that. But also I think we're helping him too, with my point is, guys are getting to space, and it's not all so clogged up and everything.
You mentioned earlier, finally kind of feeling healthy, getting a rhythm. How difficult was the injury issue you went through?
Just very challenging, because, when you have a soft tissue or there's other aches and things going on, you can kind of, work through that. But the nerve thing, it's very, very tricky. I never experienced that before, and it was challenging. It was challenging, and now the fact that we've worked really hard. Our performance group has worked really hard to get me to this position, and now I'm able to play more minutes and feel very confident with my body. So I'm just very happy with that now.
How did it start affecting you? How did you kind of I guess start to feel the nerve issue?
It was it's been a while now, but it was can't recall the game, but it was in November. I think it was 22nd, so somewhere around there. But that's when I initially, had the injury, and then against Philadelphia, I still didn't feel quite right, and then I aggravated again, and that's when the performance staff was like, hey, we have to make sure that we're careful and we take care of this. So I stuck with that plan, and we're getting really good results.